Is Benika Fomby here?
Yeah, she's in the office. Yeah. I can bring her in.
Yep. Tara Smith. Tara Smith here.
Kara Smith.
Joe Martin. Arthur Tuck. Shasta Avery. Bobby Jackson. Soleil Janaya.
Jackson.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, here, Mr. Mayor. You have who?
Mr. Martin and Combi, both of them are gonna have hearings.
Well, one is separate preacher.
Which one is?
Joe Martin,
Yes.
he's scheduled for a pre-trial.
Pardon me?
Oh, this is the first hearing?
The recent. Yeah, he failed to appear last time and it's because of service of the recent.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. That's right.
Okay, let's see, I don't know who's here. Benika Fomby?
Yes.
Okay, that's a hearing. Tara Smith? No? Howard Service, that's the recent.
Kara Smith.
Is property red tagged? Sure. Joe Martin?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna be able to see the screen. I'm gonna play a video for you just a moment. In just a moment. Arthur Tuck? No? This was a reset, and so was Shasta Avery.
Yes.
Default can be submitted for those two, Mr. Neera.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. We'll do so. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Bobby Jackson? You can submit default.
Thank you.
Soleil Janaya? I don't even see the attorney for that. Is someone here from Mr. Lum's office?
Soleil Janaya.
And then Mr. Klug, Mindy Dissance is here.
Is she here? I will see her out there. I know.
No.
that
Yes, I'm here.
You all resolved it?
We have a consent order that we're gonna put on the record.
Okay, I'll put it on the record now. Leroy Pro Apartments versus Mindy Distance, 26-01437. Can I have your appearance? So were you here for Mr. Lum's office?
I am.
Okay, I don't think, so is Soleil Janaya here? Okay, you can submit default. You can submit default.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Klug, appearance, please.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Jeff Klug, appearing on behalf of the Board of Apartments.
Okay, I have Mindy Distance present via Zoom. This is for a hearing for non-payment of rent. Oh, this is determination of tenancy. How did you all resolve this?
Your Honor, the defendant has agreed to enter consent order for conditional dismissal. She's agreed to move out and vacate the premises on or before May 15th, 2026, and turn in keys. Any personal property left will be deemed abandoned. She said it complies with this. The case remaining dismissed. Nothing, but if she fails, the next business day, my client can file a affidavit of default, immediate judgment, and writ can be entered against her. And she understands she can have a right to a trial by judge or jury and represented by an attorney. That she has 3 business days from today to file a motion.
Ms. Distance, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney today?
Yes, I do.
Gonna waive that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right also to proceed to trial. You could have demanded a jury trial. You understand that as well?
Yes.
You want to waive that right as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have 3 business days to return to the court. If after you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you waived, you can return to the court, request to have this agreement set aside. Was the agreement already signed by her?
It was not, it was discussed,
Do you give Mr. Cruz permission to put your signature on this agreement?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you have any questions for the court?
No, ma'am.
You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Emergency response here in Ajan Dawale as well? No? Okay, we have 1 pretrial. This is for your purpose, Mr. Martin. I'm gonna play a video. The video is gonna advise you of your rights. The video will tell you about the resources that you may be eligible for, and then possible ways that you can resolve this eviction. At the conclusion of the video, we'll see if there's anyone in the building from legal services. They're normally here for pretrials. They can meet with you to do an intake to see if you're eligible to be represented by their office, okay?
Okay.
Oh, I have someone via Zoom. On legal services. Perfect. I'll also get you another court date. That date is for you to come back for a hearing date. Today is just a pretrial, but you do have the right to, if you want to waive attorney representation, to resolve it today while you're here, okay?
No, I'm going to have a turn because I don't owe them. And they calling my house and threatening me. And as you see, I had a doctor's appointment. I called everyone. I called the courts, I called them, and I called the attorney. And I let them know I just had 2 double hernia surgeries, and they've been disrespecting me ever since then. I have nothing to say to these people, and I don't owe them any money, and that's what the record will show.
You said they were threatening you how?
Calling my house, telling me I owe them, and if I don't pay them, they're gonna do this and do
Oh,
that.
so they're gonna evict you.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Threatening an eviction.
No, they didn't say evict me. They didn't say. They said they're gonna get a lawyer, and they wanted me to pay for it. And I told them I don't owe you anything. The money I owe, I wasn't even dealing with you.
Okay. Let me have you watch the video.
Okay. People. And I told them I don't owe you anything. The money.
Return feedback. Give me just a moment.
Welcome to the 54A District Court. Please listen carefully for information about your rights and resources that may be available to assist you. Please have paper and a pen handy. You have a right to retain an attorney to represent you. If you do not have an attorney and you can afford an attorney, you might locate an attorney by calling the State Bar of Michigan at 1-800-968-0738. If you are a tenant and you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you may seek free representation from legal services. You should have received this information with your summons and complaint. There may be a representative from legal services available today to speak with you. You have a right to proper venue. If your residence is not located in the city of Lansing, you have a right to ask the court to transfer the case to the district where the property is located. You have a right to a jury trial. If you want a jury trial, you must request it orally in court today, or you may file a demand within 5 days. You are also responsible for paying the jury trial fee unless you have requested a waiver. Assistance may be available from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, the local coordinated entry agency, or Abbott House. Those agencies may be able to assist you with payment of some or all of the rent. You do not need a judgment for assistance. The summons and complaint are sufficient for your request for assistance. If you have served in our armed forces, assistance may also be available for the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund. Please call 1-800-642-4838, option 6. If your case is a non-payment case and you have already applied for assistance from one of the agencies, please be sure to tell the judge. You will be required to submit written proof to the court within 5 days. Your landlord-tenant case can be resolved in a number of ways. One way to resolve this case is if you and your landlord reach an agreement. In such case, a conditional dismissal is possible when approved by all parties. The court can provide you with a form for a conditional dismissal. Another resource is the Michigan Community Dispute Resolution Program. If the court determines that your case can be resolved through community dispute resolution, then that resource will be coordinated by the judge. Information about your other rights and the legal process is also available from the Guide to Michigan Legal Help at www.michiganlegalhelp.org. Thank you for your attention. Your case will be called shortly by the judge.
April 29th at 11:30.
Your hearing date's gonna be April 29th at what time?
8:30.
At 8:30 in person at the court. We're gonna get you on Zoom so you can meet with legal services, okay? April 29th at 8:30. Zachary Latney. Or Zach Latney? Oh, why are you on Zoom?
Present.
Why are you present via Zoom? You're supposed to be here in person.
Because I had certain matters that I was taking care of this morning, which unfortunately I just wasn't able to get completed. And I didn't know I was required to be there in person. I would have been there in person.
You definitely knew, because I say in person like a broken record when I give a hearing date. I do not hold hearings via Zoom. You must appear in person. The paperwork you received said you must appear in person.
Okay, so why was the plaintiff not required to appear in person, but I actually appeared in person?
The plaintiff is right here. The plaintiff is in my courtroom.
No, I was referring to the first date, the first hearing date.
That date was not a hearing. That date was a pretrial. Everyone could appear via Zoom for the pretrial. I said for the hearing, you must appear in person. Today is a hearing date. You're not here.
How does the court plan to resolve that then? Because
I don't, it's how you're gonna resolve it, because if you don't appear, I have to give them a default judgment.
So who are you talking to that's appearing now then?
That is the attorney. This is the attorney for the plaintiff. Where are you, sir?
You don't see me,
How
ma'am?
long is it gonna take you to get here? Yeah, how long is it gonna take you to get here?
Give me 10 minutes. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Yep, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't even worry.
Well, judgment.
Okay, thanks, Your Honor.
Let's see, Ms. Moss or Ms. Diaz, who should I put Mr. Martin in the room with?
Judge, you can put him in the room with Miss Diaz. Thank you.
That is Mr. Dudley. Adam Devlin.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay, you're here on behalf of Capital Village.
Yes, we submitted a conditional dismissal to you yesterday, but as it had not been signed, I appeared.
Okay, is Tashira James here? Or is someone from,
Lakeshore, or not Lakeshore, Legal Services is here for her. She was represented by counsel.
oh, okay, got it. Let's see if I can find this in the system. Edge versus Tashira James. Capital Village versus James. Let's see. It was signed by both attorneys. Mr. Devlin,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay, then you're all set. I'll sign it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You said, Mr. Cook, that you're having a hearing with Fami, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Are you all come forward? Mr. Nuwabo, do you have default paperwork?
Yes. No. He doesn't have to.
Excuse me?
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have?
No, it's just.
Okay, this is SK Lansing Limited versus Vinica Bombi 25-0590. Have your appearance for the record.
Morning, Mayor. Jeff Lewis, appearing on behalf of SK Lansing. Pleasure.
Your name, ma'am?
Vinica Bombi.
Okay, today was the date that was set for hearing. My understanding is that you all were making some efforts to try to get this resolved at some point, but it sounds like you were not able to do that.
That is correct, Your Honor. Parties have not come to a resolution.
Okay, you can proceed with your case.
Thank you. Plaintiff would like to call Carla Ringo. That's fine.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. You can have a seat. State your first and last name, and then I need you to spell both of them.
Carla Ringo, Carla, Ringo, Ringo.
You can proceed.
Yes, Mrs. Ringo, can you please state your current occupation?
Property manager for SK.
Are you familiar with the defendant in this matter?
Yes.
And is the defendant Vinica Bombi a tenant of the plaintiff?
The tenant.
Okay, and the parties execute a lease agreement.
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
That is one. Please review with remarks as plaintiff's exhibit 1.
Yes.
Are you familiar with that document? Can you please describe what exhibit 1 is to the court?
This is the lease between Bianca and SK Management.
And does the lease provide for how much the rental amount the defendant pays?
Yes, the rent shows at $258 per month.
Is that on paragraph 3?
Yes.
And then how about a late fee? The defendant doesn't pay. Is there a late fee assessed?
The late fees are on paragraph 5. It's $35
That's if not paid by the
by the 6th of the month.
5th day of the month, so the 6th day, the late charge is assessed. And did the defendant sign this lease agreement?
Yes.
I'd like to move to have exhibit 1 admitted into evidence.
Any objection to the lease being admitted as an exhibit?
No.
Exhibit 1's admitted.
Mrs. Ringo, has the defendant complied with the terms of the lease?
No.
Can you please tell the court how she has not complied with the terms of the lease?
We haven't received rent for about a year.
So you haven't received rent for a year?
Yes.
And does the plaintiff keep track of how defendants pay their rent
Yes, we have a computer system, software system, and a ledger.
as a ledger? May I approach her?
Okay.
Can you please review which one is placed as exhibit 2?
This is a tenant ledger.
And who's it for?
Benita Bondi.
And have you reviewed exhibit 2? Does that ledger correctly reflect the amounts that are due and owing?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the court what the current amount is due and owing from the defendant as of today's date?
That was $33,230.04.
Is it true that that amount includes the court cost of $177.04?
Yes.
And is that the total amount that plaintiff is seeking that's due and owing?
Yes.
I'd like to move to have exhibit 2 admitted into evidence.
Any objection to exhibit 2?
Yes, that is the correct ledger, is that correct?
They can show it to you. Do you have a copy?
Yes, so I'm asking, are you saying, is it a correct ledger?
No, are you objecting to it being admitted? If your argument is that it's not inaccurate or not the ledger that they provided, or it's the wrong ledger, that's different. If that's the ledger you've been provided, then you can let me know. If you have a discrepancy in the charges that are on there, that's not an objection to prohibit it from being admitted. You can just address that when it's your turn to give testimony.
Okay, so again, if I understand, you said I can address it when it's my turn.
Correct.
Okay, right, yes.
And number 2 is admitted.
Mrs. Ringo, is the defendant's house inspected each year by the city of Lansing?
Yes.
Yeah. And they have a proper rental license on the house, is that correct?
Yes.
Has the house ever been red tagged?
No.
Is the house always been habitable to reside in?
Yes.
Has there been any maintenance or any other issues pertaining to the residence?
Yes.
Okay. You please just, let me say something. Pertaining to when a tenant has an issue with the house and wants SK Lansing the plaintiff to fix it, can you please describe that process to the court?
So usually the tenant will call in, or email us to let us know what kind of problem it is with the house. And from there, we'll make a work order for it, and then we'll send maintenance out.
And pertaining to this defendant, can you please explain to the court how that would usually happen?
We get ongoing problems with plumbing at the house, so we would send maintenance out, and then sometimes they would have to bring a contractor because of the condition of the plumbing.
Can you describe to the court the plumbing issues and why they were, to your knowledge, how they were caused?
So most of the time, maintenance has like a snake used for the plumbing, but if it's too far down or something else going on, then bring in another contractor. The contractor will come out and try to unclog it or hammer it to see what's going on. And many times it was all clogged up with not toilet paper, but personal wipes, things like that. And that's what I was clogging up the toilets.
What do you mean personal wipes?
My wife, it's a wipe that doesn't go down the toilet. It's not flushable.
Wipes, like similar to baby wipes, correct?
Yes, it's similar to baby
Okay, so those are getting flushed down the toilet.
Yeah.
Causing back.
And then it causes back up towards into the basement area of the house. So this kind of, after a while, it just got really backed up, and then we had to come in and have somebody snake the whole thing out again. We were doing it quite often.
And to your knowledge and belief, was the defendant flushing these wipes down the toilet?
We had proof of it. They had cameras, and then they brought the evidence out.
Yeah, and they have work orders for 2025 that state the same?
Yes.
Sorry. Is it marked as exhibit 3? Please review exhibit 3. you please describe to the court what exhibit 3 is?
Number of work orders. Some of them have plumbing issues, some have busted window. TV issues, what you call it about electricity.
What you call about electricity? Do you recall what the issue was pertaining to electricity?
You said that I believe the lights were short now, but they couldn't use the plugs. And she demanded a electrician to come over, and we brought an electrician in, and that wasn't the problem. Then when we found the problem, it was her daughter's TV that had been, the wires had been sliced together. Shorted it out. So every time they would turn the TV on, something, they shorted everything out.
Wires sliced together, what do you mean by that?
So somebody had to cut the wires and then try to push, tape them back together. They had black electrical tape on it.
And then use that to plug into the outlet?
Well, this is the cord part, not the actual plug. So maybe about within a foot or 12 inches of the plug, where they slice inside the cord. Yeah, so somebody take that back together. So probably every time they would try to use it again, it would short out. It would cause the breaker source. That's like a safeguard.
So this wasn't a problem with that
So
scaling?
it wasn't a problem with the house, it was a problem with the actual TV.
The wire was sliced, that what electricity went to the
And
TV.
somebody tried to fix it.
To your knowledge, is exhibit 3, are those all the work orders for 2025? Yeah, I'd like to move to have exhibit 3 admitted into evidence.
Any objection to exhibit 3?
So you're talking about
Absolutely.
okay, forgive me for being a little confused. Are you saying is it okay to?
Is it okay? They want to, they just made a motion to admit exhibit 3. I'm asking you, are you objecting?
Meaning, like you said, I'll get a chance to dispute, right?
Or you could say, this is not from my apartment. They sometimes, that happens. I don't know. I don't know anything about this exhibit. I'm assuming they showed it to you.
Okay, well, it's dishonest, some of these things.
I'm not saying, do you agree with the testimony she gave? Yeah, no, you'll be able to address it later. Just the actual picture that was admitted.
The information,
Correct.
yes, it's correct.
Okay, and so exhibit 3
Meaning these things were.
this is an accurate reflection of a picture from your TV, is what I'm assuming this is.
Is it an accurate, what she
What is
said?
exhibit 3?
It's just the work orders for 2025.
Well, you gotta show her. She hasn't.
Oh, she has.
I don't know. Do you have it?
So example.
Okay,
you're saying
so is that a work order that you're looking at there?
The TV issue again, outlets, Clark daughter's bedroom, check all outlets and units. You're asking, did I submit these things?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So it could be.
Forgive me for not being clear.
No worries. Give me just a moment. Ms. Gable, I do see that he's present. Did you all resolve this?
No,
Oh, so you want a hearing?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
You're next. Let's go.
Okay,
Keep going.
Mr. Ringo, in this year was the plaintiff hire contractor to do work on the defendant's home.
Yes.
Can you please describe the court what work was done?
I believe she called in and said that her ceiling was falling in. And she complained about mold or something in the bathroom.
Okay.
We had a number of things that we weren't able to complete.
But at some point in February, did you have a contract, did a contractor go out to the defendant's home and do work?
Yes.
Can you please describe who that was?
Simon.
Okay. And how long did that work take?
He told me, he went over there to look at the house. He said it's gonna take about 10 to 14 days. Yeah, and she can't be in the house because of the amount of work that needed to be done. She would be in the way. She's there with her 2 kids, teenagers. And the work that they needed to do, like the floors and drywall, is gonna be extensive. For somebody to be living in the house. We had to clear it all out and then provide her with another place to stay.
Did plaintiff provide the defendant with a place to stay?
Yes. Eventually.
And plaintiff did pay for that, is that correct?
Yes.
And on the ledger exhibit 2, is it true that February 2026 rent and the late fee is removed?
Yes.
So plaintiff is not asking for rent for February 2026 because work was done on the house, correct?
You said plaintiff's not requesting rent for when?
February 2026 because
Because that was the time that
they did the work.
their work was, okay.
Yeah. May I approach you on it?
Yes. Yes.
Let me show you what's the largest place in exhibit 4. Please review plaintiff's exhibit 4 and describe it to the court.
So this is an invoice from Simon. He's a builder. We use him as a contractor. They're all.
It looks like roughly $22,000 was paid in February to Simon. Is that correct? By looking at exhibit 4?
Yeah.
Okay. And it looks like most of this was to replace plumbing, pipes. Is that correct?
Yeah, we knew the plumbing was a problem, so we decided to replace the plumbing that was in the basement. And then we had a meeting with her, and then we decided to change the style of the shower. Well, it was a handicap accessible shower in the house before she moved in. Yeah, and what we did is pretty much updated it.
Can you describe how you updated it?
Well, once we had a meeting with her, we saw that she was in a wheelchair and she wasn't able to swing properly to get into the shower. And that's all she asked is, can I just take a shower like normal people? So then that's what I tried to do, accommodate that. So what we had to do is side of the wall, we had to extend it outwards, to make it a little longer, because even if she would have went into a normal shower, you know, with the size of a bathtub, it still wasn't enough to cover her with her wheelchair and everything. And she does really transfer to another chair, but the chair needed to be extended outwards. And so we just made a lot of adjustments. We moved the drain, put it in the center, the flooring. We added a different shower head, so that would have felt different vanity. Put in new flooring. We put in towels because the weight of the chair when she's going in there, yeah, just a regular surround system would not have worked. So we had to rebuild the floors and go from there.
Was the shower was a handicap shower prior to the renovations, correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Exhibit 5, I would like to be this.
It's not 4.
Is that 4? Sorry, 4.
I was gonna say, I must have missed 4. Okay. Exhibit 4 is what you're moving for admission of?
Yes.
Any objection, ma'am?
Admission meaning he does not want to use it?
No, he wants to admit it. He has to admit it so that he can give it to me to look at.
Okay, and this is the bill for the 10,000. These are the invoices of the billing for Simon? Is that what we're
Yes,
referring
in
to?
February.
Okay.
Okay, exhibit 4 is admitted. You
Right.
can move on.
Thank you. Mr. Ringo, did you take pictures of were pictures taken before the February renovations and after?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Ringo, can you please review plans as exhibit 5? Huh? Yes, can you please grab court what exhibit 5 is?
So these are photos of what our bathroom looked like beforehand, what we were in. So it's a standard surround type shower that somebody converted probably, I'm not sure how many years she's been there, but there was a handy cap lady there before, I believe. That's why they converted the shower. So this is what they look like there years ago. It looks like the side guards are broken off in the shower. Yeah. And then we went in and fixed it in the tub. We fixed everything and then we had another meeting. This is when we discovered that this style tub is not going to work for us. So then I had to remove the tub again. So we had trying to redo the work and then put in a different type of flooring for stabilizing. We put the concrete flooring, the tile. We extended the wall out so she'd have more room. We gave her more space. We removed the vanity so that she would have more of a ADA compliant.
But prior to the renovations, it was still, she was still able to use the bathroom, correct?
Yes.
Shower.
Excuse me, I just wanted to make sure that you said I was able to use what?
The shower and bathroom.
You know, maybe. I'm sorry.
I couldn't use it.
I probably should say that later, right?
That's her testimony. You can address it when you give testimony.
So to our knowledge, she was in the house for years and she never said that she couldn't use the shower until that day that I finished it up here. And then she made a comment, she just wanted to take a shower like normal people. So I told her, go through the motions of it so I can see how you transfer from one seat to another seat. Yeah, and then we noticed that the wall was a little shorter than it could be. So we had to remove that wall and extend it out probably another foot. And then we had to extend you'll see the drain is moved too. The drain is down at the center. Now we moved it out further out into the floor.
And then aside from the bathroom, was there any other renovations that were done at that time?
So we decided, I decided since she was out of the house, it's very hard to get into her house. So I wanted to completely redo the floor. She made a comment about when the floors change. When they changed like from carpet to tiles and flooring, it was a problem for her to travel. So we wanted to make it all inclusive. So we just made it all one wooden floor with no kind of transition at the doors or anything. We changed all the door handles that she wanted to change, like bifold doors. They were just regular bifold doors. We made into a slider door or a slider. We did her kids' rooms, living room, kitchen. All those had new flooring. Painted the house completely inside. Updated all the lighting, bathroom vanity. I put a shelf above the washer and dryer so to make it a little bit easier for her. I think we changed out her screen doors.
I'd like to move that exhibit 5 and into evidence.
No, not just me.
Exhibit 5 is submitted.
Describe to the court, if plaintiff had any difficulties, obtaining access to defendant's home in 2024 and 2025. Could you please describe to the court what you mean by difficulties given?
Well, sometimes we're not able to reach her by phone, we're not able to reach her by email. I have 3 different emails in her work orders. And then sometimes they have gone to the house and this says, she's in the shower, she'll be out, and then they waited till 3 hours, and then they just kind of called it off.
You're talking about when you're trying to do work
When we're
orders?
trying to do work, yeah. And then even with the contractors, we have contractors come for to re-secure the ramp that was on our house. I think raccoons or something was getting underneath there. That became a problem.
Problem, but
She's not letting them. She needs to know in detail exactly what they're going to do, how it's going to affect her, which is normal. But we weren't doing anything that would take the ramp away. We were just, what they call it, nipping up or something, just add more concrete to secure it. So things like that, she just wouldn't allow us to come in.
Yeah, she wouldn't allow you to come in, is that what you said?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Can you please review plaintiff's exhibit 6 and describe it to the court?
So this is after the new floor was put in the living room, in the kitchen. Always. This is the recent, the last bath update, where it has the tile, the sink is brick, lighting, and the new shower head. And the floor drain is in the room. In her bedroom, we did that, and I think we came back and finished up the doors. Which is about it.
Like that, would have a good section of evidence.
That's submitted.
Mr. Ringo, is plaintiff asking for a possession judgment against the defendant for non-payment of rent today? You asking for possession judgment for non-payment of rent?
Yes.
And exhibit 2 correctly reflects the amount that's due and owing
Yes.
with court costs.
Yes.
I have no further questions yet.
What's the amount?
Rent $3,053. Court costs are $177.04 for a total amount of $3,250.04.
You said that's on exhibit 2.
It's on exhibit 2, and exhibit 2 doesn't include the court costs. That's fine.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes. I don't know if you wanted me to wait for you to type this. Okay.
No.
I can start. Okay. So Ms. Carla, you said you do not know how long I've been here, correct? Okay. And so I've been there since 2013. Okay. Going to 2014 in July.
Is that a question?
Yeah, so I was asking, did she say she didn't know how long I've been there? And
So you're asking, isn't it true that you lived there since when?
2013.
Does that refresh your recollection?
It's probably right. Okay. So excuse me, you're pretty new. I would consider, how long have you been there?
I've been here since 23, working with SK. So the house was under Nancy housing. And sold in 2022.
Can you speak up, please?
So the house sold from Lansing Housing and it sold to SK Lansing in January of 2024. So that's the records I have are from 2024. I do know you have a history of being there longer.
Got it. So you can't testify as to when she moved in because you weren't there.
Right.
Got it.
And so therefore you are not exactly familiar with a lot of issues before you started to manage my home, before you and I started to communicate. Would that be correct?
I can only go by the information that's in the file.
And I understand. But my question was basically also a statement stating that you have been very helpful to me. And I've been also understanding and share with you that there are just many things that were going on before you came on board, before you became employed, before you were overseeing what is considered a scattered site where I live. So that's pretty much why there's been a lot of confusion. There's been a lot of.
So, ma'am, I have to stop you. You get to ask her questions right now, not give testimony.
Thank
Do you
you.
have any questions for her?
Thank you. And the work order, I did not see the camera or a photo. Did you say that there was a photo for the TV that was stated that my daughter may have taken up that caused the problem? Okay, cool. So that's great because as I had stated, it was already an ongoing issue.
Questions only.
Okay. Is it possible it was an ongoing issue before you came on board as far as with any electrical problems in the home?
Speculation.
Is that
The question
possible?
is it impossible that there could have been an ongoing issue?
No, I was saying, is it possible? I'm asking her, is it possible that she understands, that you understand that you may not have been knowledgeable, but there were ongoing electrical issues that were reported and noted and emailed before you came on board?
Is it possible that there were issues? It is possible. It's also possible that anything could have happened.
Right.
So-
The shower.
I think she's already testified to the fact that she's only been there since 2023.
Right.
She can only go by what records she has.
Right.
So she can't go by what she doesn't have. So you can talk about what you want us to know about that you think is relevant to this when it's your turn.
Okay.
But any questions specifically for this witness?
The other question. Do you believe that shower was ADA compliant after talking to the contractor, even before you all replaced it after it was supposed to have been completed? Do you agree that I was told that the shower was ADA compliant and completed, but that once I came over to take a look at it, do you agree that we did agree that it was not ADA compliant?
No, it's still ADA compliant.
Okay,
We just changed, we modified it. So we extended it out so that you have more space.
okay,
And then we had to extend the wall and we had to extend the floor out.
okay.
And then because of the weight, we couldn't just put in a regular tray. That's what they usually do, is have a regular shower base that you can buy at the store, it's plastic. So they rebuilt it so that you would have more weight capacity. So we had to accommodate that.
Was there a shower seat in the ADA compliant? As a previous there was an attached shower seat that had been in there previously that the maintenance had taken out and never brought back. When you had told me that things were completed and I went back over to the home, is it true that there was no seat for me to sit and transfer to? No attached seat, but the screws were there, which are also in the photos.
I'm not sure the seat is actually required. I'd have to ask somebody else.
Okay.
I just wanted a roll-in shower like they have at a hotel. So that
Right.
You can,
Can you agree that we, and that maybe you gained a better understanding of exactly my needs with being able to have my unit just accessible, period, from the flooring that you have discussed, the bathroom. Can you agree that you gained a better understanding by actually coming in and seeing the unit? And that's why some of the changes were made, like the drain. Can you agree that something like the drain is something that should have been placed in there that would have, would have assisted them putting it in at the time they did. Can you agree that if it had been done in the beginning, it could have alleviated a lot of the issues that I had?
No, I can't agree with that, because it still can accommodate somebody else that may not have the same concerns as you have. So it still was a handicap accessible tub, but it didn't fix your needs. So I tried to accommodate your needs by modifying it some more. Yeah, so everything has this like a bare minimum requirement. Yeah, so then I try to go above that just to say, yeah, so that you can take that shower, or to wheel in there, and then it's still functional for your kids that are not, ADA.
let me just get some clarification. The shower had to be modified so that she can use it.
We had changed the shower out, and then once she came, we all had a meeting with her. Then we decided to extend it out even further because it still wasn't really doing her any justice.
When you say doing her any justice, what does that mean? Could she use the shower before you
She
extended
could
it
still
further?
use it. She had a handheld shower. So, but as far as I know, that somebody from the state was coming to wash her up, I guess. So I'm not sure how she was really using that shower all these years. I'm not sure if she ever used it.
Okay, so I think what she's trying to say is you can agree that she wasn't able to use this shower.
Okay.
I think what you're trying to say is that it was ADA compliant, but I think you're talking about something a little bit more general than what
Like a
she's talking
senior
about.
citizen could still get in there and take a shower.
Yeah, but she doesn't care about a senior citizen taking her shower. She's talking about her.
Okay, right.
Could she use the shower prior to the adjustment?
No,
Thank
I
you.
don't even know if she can use it now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you can continue. You can continue.
Okay. So you do agree now, and again, you do agree, you just stated, you did just state, I have people from the state coming in to wash me up. I have not been using the shower previously to you all coming in and making those renovations so that it would be more personalized and accommodating to my disability, correct? Okay, we understand, no shower. Other question, do you agree that there's been a turnover in maintenance, low staffing in the maintenance, work orders, over?
Okay, let's stop because you asking a compound question. So let her answer that first.
Okay.
Can you answer
I don't know
that?
if there's been a turnover in our maintenance. We got one maintenance guy who's been there 7 years, one's 25. They just don't work in your area anymore. Yeah, so there have been a lot of changes where Lansing Housing, they still work in Lansing Housing, but now SK owns the house, and we try to merge those two together.
Next part, your next part of your question.
Can you agree that that's part or all of the reason why the scattered sites such as where I live were sold? Because they can no longer be maintenance? Is that one of the reasons why?
I don't know why they were sold.
Yeah, I'm not just a speculation.
Okay, all right.
We're
I'll
still
try to,
managing.
I understand. I'll try to make,
Any more questions about your specific situation?
yes. So when it comes to you saying they came out to repair my ramp, you stated that you did state, I'm asking, did you say that they did not need to remove the ramp in order to repair it?
And they didn't completely replace it, they just repaired it.
Again, my question was, when the contractor was sent out, because the contractor that spoke to me told me they came to remove it, they were gonna remove it. They had a bulldozer, they came to remove it. So I'm asking you, were you aware that they were gonna remove it? Because you stated previously that they were just repairing it, and I would not let them in. They did not need to come inside to do my ramp. So I'm asking, did you understand that they were going to remove it? They had a bulldozer, and because again, you stated that they just needed to repair some things. They did not need to tear it down. So I just want to make sure I understood you correctly.
So I wasn't,
I'm gonna jump into speculation pertaining to question as to what they said was needed, a bulldozer. I don't.
Excuse
She
me.
was talking about removing something though. What
She
was,
stated that one example of when I denied access, that I did not let them in when they came to repair my ramp. She said it's not like they were gonna take it down, they were coming to repair it. So I'm trying to clarify with her, is that what she said? Because what I was told was different. When the contractor came out, they said, we're here without advance notice. We're here.
So your
to-
question is, isn't it true that they came without advance notice to repair the ramp? That's the first
To
question.
tear it down.
To tear it down.
Yeah, that's what
We
they
sent
told
you
me.
a letter saying that contractor will be out there to make the repairs on the line.
You sent a letter, you said?
Yes.
Did the letter state exactly a time frame or an exact date when they were gonna do so?
That's a good.
Right, I understand.
Okay. You don't remember?
The answer is no.
Okay.
Okay.
You said, is it, you don't remember or no?
I don't remember.
Okay. Okay, what was your next question? About that? Did they have to use a bulldozer, or why would you bring up the bulldozer?
Because because I thought that I heard her correctly when she said
Oh, okay.
an example of when I didn't let them in, which they didn't need to come in, to
Okay,
repair my outside ramp.
got it.
So
So
they had,
that's been
they
clarified.
didn't need my access. Can you agree that they didn't need my access?
Right, it's something you did caused them not to do the work.
You know what I
I'm
did.
sure,
We're talking about an outside ramp?
Yes,
Okay, how did she prohibit them from repairing the outside ramp?
I've got two contractors on it, so we had to pull one contractor off. Because of some kind of issue.
It sounds like you don't know what she
I'm
did.
not really sure.
Okay, there's that. Any other questions?
can we agree that it's okay, to acknowledge that there are quite a few things that you do not know, you're unsure of? We agree to that?
I'm gonna object this.
Yeah, that's a little broad. That's a little broad. If you want to ask her specifically something that you think she may not be aware of, that's different. Your one question about whether or not you were able to, prohibit access to them fixing the outside ramp, that's a good example, but we can't just do it broadly.
Okay. Can we agree that when it came to the shower, you were unclear if I'm able to take a shower or not? Can you agree that when it came to the outside ramp, you were unsure if of exactly the reasonings why it didn't get done? Can you agree that something such as?
Ma'am, you can only ask one question at a time, but I think she's already answered that. I'm gonna move on
Okay.
in the interest of time. I don't think you have any questions for this witness. Do you have another witness?
I have another witness. Yes, I do have just read free direct regarding the shower.
Okay.
Ms. Ringo, when did you meet with the defendant to discuss the issues with the shower?
I'm not sure the date. So it had to be in February or the end of February.
February of 2026?
Yes.
Okay, and February 2026, was that when the issue of the shower was brought to your attention?
Yes.
Okay. And the work orders as exhibit 3, is it true that there's no mention of any shower issues? Withdraw. Speaks for itself, it's fine.
Thank
And to your knowledge, prior to February 2026, did the defendant ever raise any issues pertaining to her shower with you? No further questions.
Thank you. This witness can be excused from the stand. Give me a moment. Is anybody waiting to have a resolution? Let's see, do I have Adrian Evans here? Okay, I know I'm holding some paperwork for you, and I'm trying to figure out why. Let's see. Who's the attorney for Vinter Flats?
Attorney Elizabeth Ellison, Your Honor.
Did you all resolve this?
Your Honor, we had a consent at the last hearing, but when we were going over the terms on the record, he said he wasn't paying attention when the rights were read, so you moved it over to today, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Evans, you can come forward right here. Off the record on that matter. On the record now in Vinter Flats versus Adrian Evans and all other occupants 26-01320. Counsel, can I have your appearance?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Elizabeth Ellison, P82098 for the plaintiff.
Okay, Mr. Evans is present in the courtroom. I had his paperwork sitting on my desk with a note to hold it until today because of the issue from last week. You were looking to enter a consent judgment, and we had an issue of going over the rights. So I played the video for you to advise you of your rights. So you still want to move forward with the consent judgment, sir?
What is it?
That's what you signed last week. To say that you will pay the amount of $2,973.38 or vacate the property within 10 days.
All right.
That's what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to waive that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have the right to have a trial. You could have demanded a trial. You understand that?
I could have demanded a trial?
Yeah, we went over that at your last court date. The time frame to do that is past now, but I'm telling you about that right. You understand that?
Yes.
You want to waive your trial?
Yes.
Okay. Is anyone forcing you to enter into this consent judgment?
No.
To agree to pay the past due amount of $2,792 plus court costs?
No.
Okay, let's see here. I gotta adjust the dates. What's the right date?
April 27th, Your Honor, I do believe.
Let me adjust the date for the one, two. Okay, so you need to pay that or vacate by April 27th. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You have 3 business days to return to the court. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood your rights, you can request to have that set aside, okay?
All right.
You have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
We'll get you a copy of the paperwork. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sarah Villanueva here? No? I said she stepped out in the hall. Well, I asked if anybody had resolved. Nobody actually raised their hand. He's ready to go? Okay, well, then they just gotta wait, and I'm gonna start another hearing after this. So this is their opportunity to get in where they fit in. Let's see, the Grove versus Emma Rose.
Your Honor, I'm here for Ms. Rose. I think living counsel is in the weekend for her.
Mr. Klug, you can continue.
This time, I'd like to call Simon
Zaney. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury. You can have a seat. State your first and last name and spell please.
Simon, S-I-M-O-N, Zaney, Z-E-I-N-E-H.
You can proceed.
Mr. Zane, can you please state your current occupation?
Builder.
And who do you work for?
I'm a sole proprietor.
And do you have any licenses?
I do.
Can you please describe the licenses you hold to the court?
I hold a builder's license with the state of Michigan. I hold a demolition license in Lansing. I am a lead contractor through the state of Michigan. And I am an RFP contractor.
Well, do you deal with any issues with mold?
I do, quite a bit.
And do your licensing cover any mold expertise?
It's all covered under the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan doesn't require special license.
Is it true that you did the work on the defendant's home?
Yes.
Can you please review Exhibit 4? That's in front of you. That's Exhibit 4.
Yeah.
Have you seen that's Exhibit 4 before?
I have.
Is that the invoice for the work you did in February?
Yes.
When you did work in February, did you notice any mold?
It was rot in the bathroom floor.
Rot in the bathroom floor?
Yes. Well, outside the tub was a damaged area in the floor that was rotted all the way down to the second.
You said outside there was damage where?
Outside the tub.
And what else did you say?
It was damaged down to the floor joists.
Thank you.
So rotted, but was there any evidence of mold? You noticed?
We tested for water issues inside the bathroom. The drywall wall behind the sink was mold built up on the wall, mildew built up on the wall. That was removed immediately when we did the demolition.
Can you please describe for what work you did in February?
Quite a bit of stuff. We started with the painting of the whole property, drywall repair, removing drywall ceiling, in the living room and in the bathroom. A number of broken doors, damage to walls, that get painted, put new vinyl flooring down. And then we ended up moving into the bathroom and changing that out to a custom shower.
Have you, aside from this, have you done any other work on the defendant's house?
For this job, no, I have not. This is court.
I have no further questions, Judge.
Any questions for this witness?
Yes, again, you stated there was mold where the wall.
Behind.
Objection is to form question, please.
He said mold. You can ask your question, because he was answering.
Behind the bathroom sink was, looked like a leak from the faucet. And that drywall behind the sink, it's kind of mildew. I never tested that wall. We just removed the water issue and removed the drywall behind.
Again, for the mold in
Molded.
another, thank you both, thank you. But you did you see any mold in the flooring? You said deep down there was water.
There was rot.
Rot.
Yeah. Outside the tub, there was damage subfloor.
Subfloor was damaged.
Oh, okay.
That was replaced.
In my bedroom, did you personally look in my bedroom? Do you even know which bedroom was mine? The master bedroom?
My understanding was your bedroom was the rear left bedroom if you're at the front of the house. And your two kid bedrooms were up.
Yeah, so to the left was my kid's bedrooms. To the right, coming from the bathroom, can you agree that there was some water damage on that flooring? Because I was stated by the previous contractor before you, as you know, they did some bids. At a
You
previous.
can't ask him, you can't tell him what another contract told you.
Forgive me.
You can ask him what he's familiar with.
Okay.
I did test that with a meter, a moisture meter.
Okay.
And that there wasn't any moisture on that side of the room.
Okay.
Yeah, there was damage tile.
It was damaged time.
Yeah.
So did that come from the water coming from the bathroom into my bedroom? Because they're connected.
I can't say that.
Okay, but there was definitely water damage in my bedroom.
No.
The tile.
Yeah, I can't say that from water damage.
Okay. Can I ask why you tore up the tile in my bedroom?
It's the old VCP tile. It's a glue down tile. And over time, they separate and break. And there was a carpet on top of it.
Yes.
And we pulled the carpet up, pulled those up.
Okay. And when you pulled up the rug, or when you all did you actually see that flooring underneath there? Or these are employees?
All of it.
Okay.
They're all-
And so what was under there? When you pulled up the rug and the tile came up, was there any kind of rot or water damage in that bedroom?
No.
Okay, all right. I'm all set.
Can you redirect? Thank you, Mr. Bean. More witnesses?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Are you ready to tell me your side of the story?
Yes.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me why you believe you do not owe this past due amount of rent of $3,052.
Okay. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I feel like the main issues why they came into the home was to repair my ceiling, which I've addressed with you, and the bathroom flooring.
What's the matter with the ceiling?
The ceiling fell in.
It fell in?
In the living room. Yes.
When was that?
I had stated to you 2 years. They've been going on 2 years.
Okay, so this is 2026, so since 2024?
It have been, yeah, started in the bathroom, and start, went out into the living room.
You
Yeah.
said that was due to a leak?
The bathroom ceiling. The bathroom ceiling, was due to contractors coming out as part of the inspection to put in some spray insulation and take out all of the heavy, old, moist insulation. The older insulation was still in the home, is the old home. So again, contractors came in to pull out old insulation and they were gonna put spray insulation.
So you're saying they left it open?
No.
Well, what's the issue with the ceiling there? I'm not following.
So forgive me. Lansing Housing did an inspection 2 years ago. They sent out a contracting company that does spray insulation. They pulled out all of the old insulation, that big heavy.
In the bathroom and in the living
In
room?
the attic, that extended, the living room, the bathroom, my bedroom.
Okay.
So they pulled out all the insulation, they put spray insulation and they accidentally stepped in an area that was very moist and it, before, the ceiling came in the bathroom.
Got
And
it.
they had to put up a temporary, 2x4s all in my bathroom to hold it up, and that lasted for 2 years. Yes.
Okay, so you're saying that from them fixing the insulation, it created some damage to the ceiling?
It was so moist up there, the contractor said that.
I'm trying to just answer my question. It created some damage, yes or no, to the ceiling?
Yes.
Okay, and they never came back. They were aware of the damage?
They put up 2x4s. They had somebody temporarily put a fix up there until they had a contractor come out and repair
And then when did the contractor come to repair it?
When Simon came in February.
Oh, okay. So they put that 2x4 up 2 years ago?
Yes, and that maintenance, to my understanding, again, there was a high turnover in maintenance. The maintenance that they had working for them that was able to do that kind of work, he no longer works there. Ms. Carla was not there at the time either, and I probably why.
Okay, it was not replaced until February 2026.
Correct.
Yeah, pictures?
Do I?
Correct.
I do have some. They're somewhere in my phone here and I would have to find them. And forgive me, I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm trying to do the best I can to function properly. I stated to you last time I was here, my father was in transition. He did pass and it's been very heavy. It's been a lot to process. And I do not have my things together as far as paperwork. And that's just what it is. I'm just trying my best to get things together still as a whole.
Okay, do you have pictures?
I do have some pictures. I can show you the recent pictures when they allowed me to go in and if I have more time or you're done with everybody, I can go through my phone and show you the original pictures.
No, I need to see the pictures right now, not when I'm done with everybody. Like, if you want me to consider evidence that I don't know why I vaguely remember seeing the pictures of the 2x4. Maybe you showed them to me before. But if you have pictures of what your ceiling looked like before February.
Okay, cool.
I want to see those.
Okay.
If you have pictures of the mold or any other things that you want me to consider as conditions of the property, I'm going to go off the record, give you time to pull those out and identify them, make sure he sees them before I can see them, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna go off the record for that purpose.
Okay, all right. So are you saying just take a break?
Yep, so that you can have time to do that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
No problem. Do we have your matter, the parties here? Is this the Grove versus Emma Rose?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is 26-01512 LT appearance, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Jim Carter on behalf of the plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. Veronica Pereira on behalf of the defendant.
Okay, and you are Emma Rose? Okay, today was the date that was scheduled for hearing for non-payment of rent have a consent judgment. It says that the defendant agrees to pay the past due rent plus court costs for a total $2,850.47 or vacate the property by April 30th, 2026, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, you understand your right to proceed to trial in this matter? Can you speak louder? Do you wish to waive that right? Okay, anyone threatening you to do that? You have 3 business days from today's date to return to the court. If you realize after you left here that you misunderstood your rights, you can return, request to have this set aside. We'll set it for a hearing, okay? Get you a copy of paperwork. Any additional matters for the record?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set. Let's see, Hunter Properties versus Sierra Villanueva, 2601577 LT. Appearance, please.
Again, Your Honor, Jim Carl on behalf of the plaintiff.
Okay, your name, ma'am?
Sierra Villanueva.
Okay, today was the date scheduled for hearing for non-payment of rent. I do have a consent judgment. Says the past due rent is due in the amount of $3,620 plus court costs for a total of $3,806.35, correct? That you'll pay that or vacate by the 29th of this month, correct?
Correct.
You understand the right to have an attorney represent you?
I do.
You want to waive that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have the right to proceed to trial in this matter, and you could have demanded a jury trial. You understand that?
I do.
You want to waive that right? Anyone threatening you to waive these rights? You have 3 business days to request to have this judgment set aside. If you later realize you misunderstood your rights, you can request to have it set aside, and then we'll have a hearing for you to explain how you misunderstood your rights, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Get your copy of paperwork. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all
Thank
set.
you. Have a good day.
And Your Honor, I do apologize for being late today. 96 is shut down.
No, I imagine. Thank you. Let's see. Nobody else was ready. I think the attorney on yours just stepped out.
Just went to the bathroom.
Okay, sounds good. Ma'am, are you waiting for a case? Okay, very good. Are you waiting for a case, ma'am? Okay, good. And this, Abel.
Yeah.
You have a hearing. How many witnesses do you have?
Just one, Your Honor.
You can come forward. If you can get, she's gonna do her hearing. You all can go in the jury box if you need, but. This is E3 Investments LLC versus Zachariah Latney, 26-01434. Appearance, please.
Attorney Catherine Gable, P 81555 on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name, sir?
I believe the caption is Zach Latin.
It says Zachariah.
Zach Latin.
Okay, your name's not Zachariah?
I mean, as it appears on the lease, it's Zach Latin.
No, I don't know. I'm asking if what was filed is correct.
Yeah, Zachariah.
Okay, thank you. And you don't have an attorney representing you, correct? Okay, okay. You have not been able to come to resolution. This is for non-payment of rent?
No, Your Honor, we have not. I tried to speak with Mr. Whitney earlier, but we have no resolution.
Mr. Latney, you believe that you have a lawful reason to withhold the rent?
Yes, Your Honor, the equitable defense decided in the answer which should be on file with the court, Your Honor. Which can be elaborated upon today.
Okay, you can have a seat. You can call your witness.
Thanks, Your Honor. Plaintiff's call Eric Romano to the stand.
Oh, if you can get their exhibits out of your way.
May I approach?
Yeah, yep, thank you.
Okay.
You can raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. State your first and last name within spell both.
Eric Romano, ERICROMANO.
You can proceed though.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Romano, are you the owner of E3 Investments?
I am.
All right, and Mr. Romano, does E3 Investments own the property located at 1130 West Mount Hope in Lansing, Michigan?
Yes.
Okay, and what is your role at E3 Investments, Mr.
I'm the
Romano?
owner, president. It's me, just me.
And on September 22nd, 2023, did you enter into on behalf of E3 Investments, enter into a monthly rental agreement? with Mr. Latney?
Yes.
Okay, may I approach?
Right.
Mr. Romano, I have placed in front of you what is entitled monthly rental agreement. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and is that the lease that you executed with Mr. Latney?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and can you please tell me when the lease began and when it ended?
September 22nd, 2023, and it's a month-to-month lease
And when does the term of the lease begin each month, Mr. Romano?
on the 25th.
And when does the term of the lease end each month, Mr. Romano?
On the 24th of the next month,
Thank you. How much rent is due per term?
$1,100.
Okay, and does the lease call for late fees if rent's not paid within 7 days?
Yes, it does.
What is the late fee amount?
$50.
Okay, Mr. Romano, has Mr. Latney paid rent for the term August 25 through September 24?
No,
Has Mr. Latney paid rent
August 25 through September.
August 25th through September 24th? Sorry, it's a 30.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, the answer is
I
no.
think I knew what you were saying, but was you thinking years or these?
yeah,
Got it. I think it's got it.
okay.
I'll
I think
clarify.
he's thinking you're talking about 23. You're talking about the term. I know what you were saying, though. You can continue.
I apologize. So Mr. Latney did not pay rent from August 25th, 2025 through September 24, 2025, correct?
Correct.
And has he paid rent for the term beginning September 25th, 2025 through October 24th, 2025?
No, he has not.
Okay. And has he paid rent for the term beginning October 25th, 2025 through November 24th, 2025?
No, he has not.
Has he paid rent for the term beginning November 25th, 2025 through December 24, 2025?
No, he has not.
Has he paid rent for the term beginning December 25, 2025 through January 24, 2026?
No, he has not.
Has he paid rent for the term beginning January 25, 2026 through February 24, 2026?
No, he has not.
And has he paid rent for the term beginning February 25, 2026 through March 24, 2026?
No, he has not.
Okay. And has he paid rent for the term beginning March 25, 2026 and ending April 24, 2026?
No, he has not.
Okay. Mr. Romano, have you kept the premises in good habitable condition
Yes,
and good repair?
yes.
May I approach?
Man.
Mr. Romano, what I placed in front of you is entitled Payment Record. E3 Investments v. Zechariah Laney. You recognize this document?
Yes,
And Mr. Romano, can you explain to the court what this document is?
it's a ledger, a payment record showing rents due and late fees approved.
Mr. Romano, what is the balance for rents and late fees due today?
$9,200.
And is that payment record a true and accurate reflection of what is due and owing under the lease with Mr. Latney?
Yes,
Objection.
What's the objection to?
Just not receiving this, and that amount is not encompassing the original complaint.
You said not receiving the ledger?
Yeah, I'm just not receiving this. Is this being submitted?
I don't know. She not,
I'm going to move to admit it as
Okay.
exhibit 2.
okay.
Okay, the amounts asked upon are inconsequential because they don't encompass that which is encompassing the original complaint.
You're saying that it's larger than the complaint?
Yes, ma'am.
You do understand that as the time progresses, the amount increases, correct?
So you're saying that
Yeah, like, for example, if I
No, I
continue,
understand the court's
if I
question.
continue this until next month, May 1st, the amount's gonna grow.
Precisely, okay, so the question then becomes, to what extent do those amounts? So essentially, that was originally
Your
complained upon.
objection to the exhibit.
The exhibit is that he never received it.
Yeah, I never received it.
And that he says that it,
I'm just not
the
receiving
amounts
notices.
are,
That is a clear objection I'm having.
the amounts are off.
Yeah,
I'm gonna respond and say that's not an objection. It's an exhibit that's going to be admitted, and if he wants to ask questions about it, he can do that when it's his turn.
Okay, it's a copy of a ledger that you keep in the regular course of your business?
Yes.
Okay, objections overruled, it's admitted.
And I'm sorry, I guess I need to retract. I would move to admit the lease as exhibit 1.
And it's admitted.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Romano, again, I'm sorry, just for clarification, how much is owed for rent and late fees as of today?
$9,200.
Okay, and Mr. Romano, does that ledger include any court costs in that $9,200?
No.
Okay. And as to court costs, Mr. Romano, is it correct that you would be seeking those costs in the judgment today?
Yes.
Okay, and no further questions, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions for Mr.
yes, Your Honor, I do.
Proceed.
Folks, allow me a brief second. Okay, can I get my questions together? Is that an issue?
No, I just told you you can
Oh, no,
cross-examine
it
the
seemed like
witness.
she had a complaint. I'm just like, what's the issue? All right, okay. What date did, okay, this is gonna be my question. What date did you allegedly engage in the lease with the plaintiff, Mr. Romano?
He is the plaintiff.
With the defendant, Mr. Romano? Excuse me.
Jack, that's asked and answered, but go ahead.
He has answered that already.
The 22nd of September, 2023.
Okay, these proceedings, on what date did your attorney file the complaint initiating these proceedings?
That I don't know. I can refer that question to my attorney.
So I can take judicial notice of when it was filed. I have it.
Okay, the court.
It was filed with the court, it looks like on February 20th, 2026.
Okay, February 20th, 2026?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, February 23rd is the stamp on the side, but it was dated by the attorney February 20th, 2026.
This action was filed?
That's when the complaint was filed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have more questions on point and which are relevant. Okay, I wonder for the record, is your phone number, Mr. Romano?
But you have to put it on the record, his phone number. You can ask the last 4 digits if you want to confirm.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Does the last 4 digits of your phone number end in 9908?
Yes.
And did you text the defendant regularly for means of communication by way of payment to be received from you, from the tenant?
Yes.
So you and the tenant regularly texted with that phone number ending in 9908?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to initiating this suit, did the tenant text you respecting amounts owed and that were paid to you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
Prior to your attorney initiating this suit, prior to counsel initiating this suit, did you and the defendant communicate regularly by way of that phone number ending in 9908?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. No last question. A few more questions, Your Honor.
Take your time.
Thank you. Do you recall communication taking place between you and the defendant on or about March 4th of this year, 2026?
No, I don't.
You don't recall?
I don't recall it.
Okay, so you don't recall a text message taking place between you and the defendant wherein the defendant gave you formal notice by way of text message?
Objection has been answered. He said he doesn't recall the messages.
Okay, no problem.
Objection sustained.
Quick question for you. Are you aware of any text message that took place between you and the defendant on March 15th, 2026 of this year? Is it your response to this question that it?
He said no.
No. Okay,
Oh, okay.
follow up, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not aware of any communication that took place. Since you're not aware, this is my question, since you're not aware of any communication which took place on March 15, 2026 between you and the defendant, there will be no cell phone records wherein confirming you received the same? And
Are you
read the
asking me,
same?
are there cell phone records? Because he's saying he's not aware. He's not saying it didn't happen. He's just saying he's not aware.
You're not aware, okay. My question is that because he's saying he's not aware, that there would not be any cell phone records affirming that he's actually read the messages which he claims he's not aware of.
Are you saying that no conversation took place, or you just don't remember?
I'm saying I don't remember.
Yeah, so he's not disputing that there was text messages.
Okay.
He just doesn't remember.
Are you aware that on March 15th, 2026, you were expressly appointed as trustee privately by the defendant?
I'm not aware.
Okay, you're not aware of that. That's fine. Just give me a second. See if I can get anything more relevant for the witness, and I'm gonna let him go. Okay. Oh, yes, this is actually very poignant. Prior to you and the defendant engaging in a lease, did you require any criminal or background check for the defendant to engage in? And was there any documentation that you took to that effect?
Do I
Objection,
require it?
compound, and form.
Compound meaning you ask two questions in one, so can you break it up?
Sure, no problem. So I can like.
You can rephrase it, but only ask one question at a time.
No problem. Prior to engaging in the lease, which is subject to this underlying suit, did you and the defendant engage in a creditor background check?
I don't remember.
Is it your testimony today that you never required a social security number to be provided by the tenant?
I don't remember. That was 2.5 years ago.
Okay, so with text messages,
I'm gonna object as to
He doesn't
relevance.
remember, so you're gonna have an opportunity to give testimony. If you want to share any of that, you can do that.
no problem.
You don't got to get him to get it out of you.
No, that's,
Yeah.
I'm just,
He said he doesn't remember, so he's
I
not
gotta
disputing
lay a
it.
foundation though. At some point.
No, you don't. If you want to tell me all that during your testimony, we'll allow.
I don't
you
know
to
if he
tell-
doesn't remember unless I ask your honor.
I get it, but him remembering or not, it really has nothing to do with whatever point you're trying to make with that.
Well, if he
that
said he
concept.
remembered, it would actually affirm the point I'm making, is what I'm getting at.
Okay, well, he said he doesn't remember,
Okay, no problem.
and you're trying to re-ask him in another way. He's not going to change his question.
No problem. Okay.
Or his answer.
That's the witness, your honor. I'm done.
You can redirect if necessary.
Your Honor, redirect is not necessary. Thank you.
Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. You want to get testimony, sir?
Yes, your honor.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, I do, your honor.
Thank you. Tell me why you believe you don't lawfully owe rent since September of 2025. I'm sorry, August of 25, or is it? Well, I guess it's September 25th of 2025. You haven't, the testimony was you have not paid rent since September 25th of 2025.
Yes, sir.
So tell me why you lawfully can withhold rent, or why you believe that.
Well, first and foremost, I would direct the court's attention to the answer, which is on file.
You have to tell me your reason. I've read your answer, but that's not evidence.
Okay, no problem. I'll give you, okay, so on March 15th, let me give you the whole layout since I'm on the record and I can get it all out, right? We get it all out and I'm gonna testify. I'm giving my testimony right now. So prior to engaging in this lease with Mr. Romano, he required, and I have text messages to that effect, which he's received, he's read, but it's okay. I have text messages to that effect between me and him, wherein prior to engaging in this lease, he specifically required a social security number. And in requiring said social security number, it was for the purpose of a credit or background check. Said social security number was reflective of the principal obliger on the lease. This is antecedent to the lease that is signed and in the record and encompassed in her complaint. Okay, said social security number that was taken from him is not reflective of myself. It's not reflective of myself with respect to being obligated regarding this. This is just a primary claim that I'm making. I have a secondary claim, which is an equitable defense, which is layered onto this. Just bear with me, I'm not in court.
I'm listening.
Thank you, I appreciate it. He was noticed of suretyship and subrogation rights with respect to the social security number taken and reflective of the principal obliger on the lease. He was noticed of a legal distinction being made with respect to the principal obliger and myself, as a matter of fact, by way of documentation provided to him in these text messages. Not
Are
only,
you saying that was the nature of the text messages you sent in March?
yes, Your Honor, I am. That's precisely what I'm saying.
Okay.
Actually, these text messages go back to February. Secondarily, with respect to the suretyship and subrogation claims, to which I stand as subrogate to the principal obliger underneath the lease, to whom I stand as subrogate with respect to the principal obliger on the lease. Him being a creditor or the subrogor, he was noticed that my suretyship and subrogation rights were transferred to him in trust for my sole benefit. What I am saying is, prior to even showing up to that first hearing 2 weeks ago, he was noticed of and read text messages wherein he was expressly appointed as a trustee and owes me fiduciary duties as sole beneficiary prior to initiating this suit. That is my purely equitable defense that I'm asserting here today.
Okay.
As a result thereof, and as a result of those allegations of fact, which bear on this immediate case, Mr. Romano and E3 Investments LLC, by way of a trust indenture, which I can show this court and my phone number, stands with respect to me as my trustee. And he owes me a duty of undivided loyalty as my trustee, as is my allegation of fact today. And I am the sole beneficiary with respect to that trust that I can provide the court. He owes me fiduciary duties and a duty to account with respect to that which he was entrusted with, specifically and prior to engaging in these proceedings. And he was noticed of that. Not only that, but as sole beneficiary, equity regards me as the true owner. And my sole defense right here and now is that he stands in relation to me as a trustee and a fiduciary, owing me duties sacred in equity, to which I can't freely enforce in probate court. And as this court has been made aware of, this court doesn't have jurisdiction over those exclusively equitable claims of beneficiary of trust relations. But that is my equitable defense that I'm asserting here today, that he was granted a fund in trust, that he possesses said fund, and that as fiduciary, he owes me a duty to account as sole beneficiary. And that said accounting that he owes me directly conflicts with the legal relations that he has as landlord in this underlying suit. And I am now asserting there is a conflict and variance between the rules of equity and the rules of law with respect to the same matter. And that owing me an exclusively equitable duty of trusteeship.
That said he owes you a duty of trusteeship?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Any other argument for why you think you can live in his property for free?
He's been granted the fund to which he must account. These are equitable rights.
You granted him some funds?
Yes, I granted him the
Where?
fund. By the way, I'll show you right here. Got you right here, Your Honor. Got you right
Show
here.
his attorney where the funds were sent to her client.
Is the court saying as a matter of fact that he's not?
Show me where you're gonna show me evidence where you sent him the funds?
Yes.
Show it to the attorney first,
Thank
where
you.
he was sent his funds.
Got you right here. Got you right here. Give me 1 second. I'm just pulling up the text. You're gonna see it says red right next to it too.
For clarity, Your Honor, if I may, this is rent payments for the
Correct.
money we're claiming due and owing.
Those are the only funds
Not-
I'm looking about.
Not previous. Correct.
So,
Okay,
is
just
this
for
court
clarification.
asserting that I did not have that equitable defense asserted is not
I don't,
relevant?
well, let me be very clear here. I read your answer and I gave you ample opportunity to make a record here. I don't really know if there is an underlying issue that requires a competency evaluation, or if you Googled something that made you think that these things were lawful reasons to live in someone's property and withhold rent. You speak over me, you will be remanded for contempt in court. I don't know what's going on, but none of the things that you say or have said in this courtroom as it relates to a lawful reason to withhold someone's rent makes any sense. For you to sit here and vehemently assert that the landlord, after telling you that you are filing a notice to quit and vacate his property for failure to pay rent, now owes you some duty other than to collect the rent from you, sounds bat crazy. Bat crazy. You don't live in someone's house for free. You show me where you paid the rent or that you have a lawful reason, not some cockamamie story you didn't came up with. Your answer looked like you cut and pasted something from a probate court proceeding from probably a sovereign citizen, crossed out what you didn't think applied and signed your name to it. We don't run circuses in here. This is a courtroom of law. You understand me?
May I respond, Your
If
Honor?
you have proof where you paid rent, show it to her. Otherwise, judgment for the plaintiff.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Do you have proof?
I'm trying.
Do you have proof?
You asked me to do two things.
Well, I ask you one thing.
For it to be-
Ask you one thing. Do you have proof?
Yes, I do.
Show her the proof.
Got you right here. I was in the middle of getting that earlier, but
No,
I didn't want to
listen
interrupt
here,
the court.
listen here, show her the proof, because she wanted to clarify what you were about to show her.
Okay.
I don't wanna see no text messages of no, I notified him of some trust. That don't work here. We're not dealing with trust, we're not dealing with probate, we're dealing with possession of property. You signed a lease.
I know I'm at law.
You signed a lease. You agreed to pay the money. I don't care if he did a background check or if he didn't.
Well,
I don't care if you gave him your social security number or if you gave him your telephone number. You agreed to pay this rent. You've been holding over his property since August of 2025. And I want to see proof that you either have a lawful reason to withhold it or proof that you turned it over and he's just mistaken.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. My man Damon's gonna go in tomorrow too, don't worry.
You can find a mandamus or anything else you want to file. I really do not. I promise you, I don't care.
That's okay. So it's a quite lengthy text, that's why I'm trying to find it, but I'm gonna show
Is
you
this
right here.
evidence of you sending his past due rent?
Yes, he's in possession,
Okay.
he's in
You can-
possession of it,
You
yes,
can show the attorney for her review.
yes, 100%, and I'm standing on my equitable offense regardless. What are you reading right there?
It says declaration of trust and appointment of trustee. There's no.
Judgment in favor of the
Thank you, Your
plaintiff.
Honor.
Oh,
You can be
wait.
excused. Bye, bye.
Yeah, I know, my man Damon's going in too.
File whatever you want.
Yeah, yep.
You have paperwork.
I do, Your Honor. Is it
Don't worry.
the possession 427?
The writ date
Yes.
is the 27th.
Thank
That
you.
is correct.
Your Honor, do you need to prorate rent on the record or amounts due for the money
Yes, please.
judgment? Okay, for possession, Your Honor, he owes $8,800 in rent, plus $400 in late fees, plus costs in the amount of $174.80, for a total of $9,374.87. And for the money judgment, Your Honor, which has been prorated through today at $36.67 a day. Rent plus late fees is $8,870.07, with costs of $174.87. Sorry, yeah, it's $174.87, for a total of $9,044.94 for the money judgment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor.
I think I've earned a recess of 5 minutes. We have, okay, you ready on Christina Castillo and Juan Castillo? 900 Long Tech One LLC, also doing business as Evergreen Park versus Christina and Juan Castillo, 2601585 LT appearance, please.
Good morning, again, Jim McCarroll on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name, ma'am?
Christina.
Your name?
Juan.
Okay. Today was the date scheduled for a hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. I do have a consent judgment.
Yes.
It states here that you both agree to have judgment entered by your consent, past due rent, $2,048.58. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Plus cost of $203.55 for a total $2,252.05, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney. You understood that?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right also to proceed to trial. You could have demanded a jury trial. Okay, you both want to give those rights up?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone promising you anything to do that?
No, ma'am.
Any threats to get you to do that?
No, ma'am.
You have 3 business days to return to the court and request to have this judgment set aside if you later realize you misunderstood any of those rights, okay?
Yep.
Do you have
Yes,
any
ma'am.
questions?
No.
Get your
No.
copy of paperwork. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice day.
Same to you. Let's see what we have here. They still haven't resolved the Cameo properties. What about, oh, we did that one already. Still enabler, that was the same. Still in the way by me. We're working on Fambi. Nawabu was a default. I don't see this one on here, Jared. Huh? What you do? Default. Are you ready, Mr. Wu?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're back on the record in SK Lansing versus Bombi. Bombi was supposed to pull out the evidence that she wanted to show the court in her phone. Did you show Mr. Wu?
Correct, you did see one right, so. Did you need another?
There was like 1 or 2 pictures for that.
Right, so we got-
See that?
no, 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 no. Let's try back then.
Yes, I saw him, Judge.
Okay, you can provide it to the court.
And then you just gotta stretch to. Fine. Turn it back.
Okay, what is it that I'm looking at?
The ceiling, the 2x4s are in the ceiling.
Okay,
That's how it started off.
that's this picture?
Yes, that's my daughter. Just as it progressed, when you slide over, like you see a crack, that's the mold. Those are just things.
Is this in the bedroom or the bathroom?
The bedroom, yeah.
Okay,
To your right again, you'll see how it progressed to cracking after they had, cut the 2x4s because again.
you said if I go where?
Probably to your right.
On this picture?
Yes, ma'am. The other way, I'm sorry, to your right. Yeah. You'll see a crack on some of them, and you keep going.
This is the ceiling.
Yes, you see it a crack in the progression.
What am I looking at here?
Must be the flooring again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And this was, you said, was the temporary fix?
right, but it has started to crack more, and that's why I
Got
reported
it.
it. Yeah,
Is this in the bathroom or?
correct? Yes,
Okay.
bathroom. Yeah. That's a ramp.
The
I'm just
ramp.
kind of showing how they, we're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other evidence?
Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can I see you said there was a bedroom picture?
Yeah, with the mold. Yeah. Yeah, that's
This?
That's bathroom. That's one of the what they fixed as far as the lit. That's how it kind of was getting out. That's the mold over there against the wall. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, any other evidence, ma'am? Or testimony that you wanted to provide about the condition?
Yeah, so several contractors, over the past few years were called out. They were getting estimates. The latest contractor before Mr. Simon, he stated to me that the main issue was the
Objection.
shower.
Hearsay, this is a conversation that she's had with a allegedly previous contractor, don't even know the name, saying they would testify as to the truth of the
Okay,
matter.
so you're saying that they brought a contractor out?
SNK since
When?
Probably I'm gonna estimate a good 8 months
8 months prior to this?
prior to Mr.
So
Simon.
last year?
Prior to Simon, correct?
Okay, provide me the name of that contractor and then bring him to court.
Yeah.
And he came out to give you an estimate on the bathroom?
Yes, yeah. He was gonna take it all down. He had, so he's the one that told me that the main issue was.
Well,
the shower.
there's an objection to hearsay.
Okay.
So they would be the keeper of those records.
Okay.
They're responsible for that. So if you said that there was someone that came onto your property prior to Mr. Zaney,
Yes.
then I want them to provide me the name, and then we can subpoena them to court so that you don't have to give me hearsay.
Okay, cool. So, other than that, I just wanted to state the main issue always has been the shower, but, Ms. Carla was not there.
I think said she's gonna only go by what she has. I
Right,
think
right,
that's been
right,
clear.
right. But what I was just trying to say, the main issue in the bathroom started because my shower was never ADA compliant. As she stated,
You made a request for your shower to be made ADA compliant?
Yes, yeah.
When?
Probably honestly, like I said, 3 years ago.
Okay, you
When
put
it
in a
became-
request 3 years ago
Yes, yeah.
for your shower?
And I showed a picture that you saw the lip on the shower. The main issue is that if it doesn't have the proper lip to keep the water from coming out, it goes under the tile, then it lifts the tile, and then that's how the mold comes. Too much moisture comes, makes it slippery and not safe when you transfer. I have honestly, again, it was never completely ADA compliant. As she stated, someone else lived there before me, and that was an accommodation that they needed based on their disability. I also was ambulatory when I moved into the home. I used to use my wheelchair for distance, and as I had pains and things like that, there were, some days I just couldn't walk. And if there was distance, things like that. But I could previously get in the shower and didn't need the same kind of accommodations. As I needed different accommodations as my diagnosis progressed, and now I am not ambulatory at all. I just use a sliding board. There was a seat in the shower, that I'd be able to sit on. But as I became not ambulatory and I got larger, it was I'm too heavy. So they removed it, and that's why I was saying that maintenance removed it, and they never found one and were able to come back in a reasonable amount of time with one that was that would be suitable for my weight, that will hold my weight capacity.
So they removed the shower. So you had you're talking about two different issues with the shower. When you're talking
Correct.
about how the water drains,
Yes, ma'am.
and that was an issue that you said you reported 3 years ago?
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did they send anyone out then?
Oh, yes, ma'am. They repaired it as their pictures show.
They repaired it 3 years ago?
They did repair it at times.
Okay.
They did like the lip On some of the pictures they have on those exhibits, you'll see that the plastic or rubber is missing. They would come out and put the rubber back on in certain areas there, and there's some pictures. So they did try to
Okay.
come and, fix the rubber. It just,
But you're saying that water had already gotten under there is what you're
Oh,
saying?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
and are you saying, is it your suggestion that they didn't fix the water that had gotten, or clear that out? Is that, and you're suggesting that's what caused the mold?
honestly, they also at one point had another contractor pull some wood under there that was molded and rotted. Yeah, I'm sure they have notations of the year she wasn't there. So, but the office would have those records. There was someone that came out, they fixed that rubber, which is what they call a lip, to keep the water from coming out. They pulled back some of the tile in the front, and they pulled up some of the wood.
Okay, and so
yes.
you're saying allegedly when this wood was pulled up, I don't know what year this was, that
Right.
that it was moist.
3 years ago, yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Oh, it
but
had
they
rotted.
continue to have a problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
how does any of these things play into why you have allegedly not paid rent since?
Because it was never fixed properly. Like I said, the seat was never placed back. I still continue to have problems with the water. It probably instantly came off in 2 days as far as the water running out. I couldn't take a shower. That ceiling, again, it was leaking. It was unsafe. It caused me a lot of stress, anxiety. Like I said, unfortunately.
The ceiling in the bathroom is where you're saying was leaking?
Yes.
And that's the only bathroom, correct?
Yes. And like I said, it extended those problems of the water into my bedroom. I was constantly getting like upper respiratories and pneumonia, different things like that can be, caused from having mold and things like that in the home.
You do understand that mold and things could cause that, but upper respiratories and pneumonia could come from other things as well.
Oh, I do.
So you do understand that if you're going to assert that this was caused by mold, you have a responsibility to provide evidence that it was caused by mold.
I understand.
You understand that?
I understand.
Okay, and it's probably gonna require a medical expert to do that.
Okay.
You understand that?
I'm sure.
So you can't just say because I had a respiratory infection, it was caused because I suppose that there was mold. I don't know that we have had any evidence where anything was actually tested and was positive for mold at this point. I did see your picture, and that was you said in your bedroom. But a testimony from Mr. Simon Zaney that he didn't believe that to be mold, but that was repaired.
I thought he did say mold. And
he said mold, but he said it was in the bathroom.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. This is really the problem. So my bedroom is right next to the bathroom. So the water ran under from the bathroom, which ma'am, like they say that I spent 3 hours in there because I do get a sponge bath. And I can't use my shower. I'm in there inhaling that 3 hours, a couple times a day probably, which sometimes that would cause an issue if they didn't give me advance notice. Unfortunately, like if I'm in the bathroom with a homemade, which I do, receive assistance, I can't just transfer like that. It takes time. It takes time to get clothes back on. It takes time to get undressed. It takes time to get me bathed because again, the shower was not working, So, and I do, unfortunately, I thought I'd have that time to get you, present the court with all the evidence, but with my father passing it did, take a toll on me. And I wasn't able to focus on those things. I take responsibility for that. It's not an excuse. It's just the reason on why I wasn't able to go and request those specific records. I got things from Tri-County, who provides my home care, who's come in, who's witnessed these things, who sent them out a letter, requesting why or how they can go about assisting me getting these things done. Home care aides, and so on. And again, my doctor, my psychiatrist has written a letter. Unfortunately, today I just cannot, access those things at the moment. Yeah, we just had the service last week, so it's just been a lot mentally, to try to focus on other things when there's been a lot of other changes.
Any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do. Ms. Hamid, good morning. You stated that previously you could use a shower, is that correct?
Correct.
So you said you could use the shower, and then you said there was as a result of change to you, that you couldn't use the seat anymore, is that correct?
Correct.
So how have you been bathing from, I don't know, 2023 until present? How you been-
Sponge bathing, which they're aware of, which I make office wear.
Okay,
Yeah, I complained about it several times.
so your sponge bathing, is it in the shower?
In the bathroom, I have a, what you call a bedside toilet. And, you know, they assist me in that way because of the way it's made and able to accommodate me best.
And then you stated you've been having issues for how many years is your testimony?
Several. I stated that there was 2 years. I reported the start of the mold and the shower issues of 3 years, 2 years in the ceiling.
Okay. Why didn't you put your rent into escrow?
To be honest, I wasn't ever told of that until I did it. When I did put money in escrow, there is some money in escrow. Is what they told me. I was not familiar with that.
And then on September 30th, 2024, is it true? If you look at exhibit 2, you made a payment of $764.04 to bring your rent down to 0.
Yes, I did. I'm sure.
Okay, so you've had all these issues with your house, but you're still paying rent, and is that correct?
I paid rent to honestly avoid. I did pay it. If you would allow me to explain, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to explain it or not.
You're allowed.
Okay. So I did pay rent, being under a lot of stress. And just didn't want, honestly, to be very honest, my father paid it. So, you know, just to avoid all the stress of and trying to just get things resolved. Period. It's just what it was. There's times also on there, and I was gonna bring that up, I'm glad they brought that up. The SNK actually has credited me. And if you looked at that, they have credited for delay in maintenance issues. Do you see that? They have credited me on that as well. Because I have requested in the past, like, can you all work with me? And they have. They did work with me when they could, and I did what I could to avoid coming to court. And, you know, like I said, my father did that for me. My father was actually my home care provider until he became ill off and on. It was a long, strong battle with his cancer. He assisted me as much as he could. Yeah.
How have you been with cooperating with plans that pertain to corrective maintenance issues?
I've cooperated very professionally, very respectfully with them.
You've always allowed them into the house timely?
No, I've not always allowed them in the time like I discussed with you. If I'm in the bathroom and with an aide, in which they stated, you said we agree on that, it takes quite a bit of time. Yeah, and no disrespect, like even example, you may feel like this is kind of off the board, but as my situation changed, I was not in this large of a chair. I was able to, I wasn't using a transfer board. When I moved in that house, I did not have a bedside toilet. It's kind of like having all these things in here and I can't even get around in here. Do you know what I'm saying? So changes needed to be made based on my, you know, changes in my disability. I tried to work with them because I know it's not easy, man. I'm 47. I've only been using this chair full time for like 7 years. And when I say full time, at a point in time, I was still ambulatory, but having to use it, you know, full time because I just couldn't walk like that. So it's a whole new world. We're all learning things. I mean, I'm shocked this courtroom is not accessible.
This is not ADA compliant.
Yeah, no, I'm just, what I meant by that was, I have not been to court a lot, and so when I go different places and I find, like, I understand every place of business, you know, everywhere is just not accessible, and I understand that. But you know, people make accommodations. We try to make changes. You all accommodated each time. So I'm more than understanding. I'm learning too. I was a total ambulatory person. So I've tried to be understanding with them because it's been a barrier for me. It's been adjustment for me and my family. We tried to work with one another, but I feel like it's just a fair, I'm not suing them or trying to sue them for neglect and abuse, which it did feel like neglect and abuse, although I don't think they were doing it on purpose, but I was neglected and abused because they didn't like hire any maintenance to come in instantly. They didn't bring in a contractor instantly. But again, I don't think that they did that on purpose. If there are a lot of barriers as I have become less ambulatory, not ambulatory at this time. And I like to be just empathetic about that. So I feel like, and I asked in the beginning, can we come to resolve? I'm more than happy not to pursue a lawsuit on anything that I feel like, you know, wasn't done right or professional, or them upholding the contract, which states that maintenance issues will be done in a timely manner. I'm just asking us to meet a middle ground, They have given credits at times for not doing maintenance issues. I paid to avoid coming to court and cut down on the stress. You know,
When you say they've given credits, what do you mean?
Oh, it's on there. It's on the ledger.
I haven't been provided any evidence, so I don't know what's
The
on there.
ledger states there's credits. They made a credits because it says because of maintenance issues not being resolved, they've credited me rent.
Okay.
And I have also paid rent. So since we both have done that before, I would love for this to be over today, ma'am. I'm trying to process grief. And it is very hard, like I said.
Ma'am, you don't have to, I'm just gonna be very blanket. I just buried my mom. You don't have to keep, I'm processing grief too, but we have to
And I'm
move
trying.
on.
And that's what I'm saying.
So we still have to adult, even though we're processing heavy things. So I'm not going to use that as an excuse.
Oh, I'm not. No, no.
Okay,
I was
and
explaining.
and just because you're processing grief does not mean that you're not going to be responsible to the extent that the law requires that. So I want to make that clear. Can you provide me the evidence that you admitted?
Yes. Ledger is exhibit 2.
Okay, so there were times, and your witness can respond if necessary, where her account had to be credited because issues were not resolved.
Well, I had just started.
Yeah.
So it looks like, if I, from the ledger, it looks like I had just started in December of 23.
Let me stop you real quick. I have exhibit 4, 5, 6, and 3.
You'll have 2 should be in there. So it's
Oh, okay, got it. 2. Is it supposed to be in exhibit 1?
the exhibit 1's the least.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so maybe it's attached here. There it goes. Can you point to me where there was a credit on the ledger?
3/21 of 24.
3/21.
24. If I
24. Okay.
remove the late fees, and then the rent, her rent was $81 at that time, and the late fees were $25. So I removed those total amounts. So that we can kind of start.
Okay, I see adjustment due to prolonged maintenance issue.
It was pretty much hearsay, or I didn't have the evidence, so I just thought we'd start cleaning.
Got it, okay. And then,
Should hearsay between the maintenance issue.
because you had just got there.
Yes.
So you didn't know what was going on, so you're just trying to get a clean slate. Okay, got it.
And then from there, no more payments were made until September 30th.
So after you did that, no more payment. Okay, so I'm confused though, because what was the delay or prolonged issue at that time on September 24th? Was that her complaining about the ceiling?
No, this is before the ceiling. This is in March of 24.
Excuse me, that was not, I don't know if I can interrupt that. That was not before the ceiling issues been going on for 2 years.
You know, I do have a March letter to Ms. Pompey pertaining to.
What is that?
Pertaining to repairs.
Okay, so I'm looking at exhibit 5, and these are these supposed to be the pictures before the repair?
Yes.
It's a nice sized bathroom. Okay. And it looks like, got it. I don't know what's going on with the joists or whatever screwed into the bottom there, but there was a picture, so I'm assuming that was what was being replaced. And this is some titling. Okay, and then exhibit 6 is after?
Correct.
Excuse me, I just want to make sure that you say that. Are we looking at this from Parker Arms that
No.
came up? Parker, yeah.
Judge is looking at exhibits 5 and 6 for the pictures my client took before.
Okay.
Okay, this is from the Housing Commission from March of 2024.
I believe my client would most likely testify that these repairs were done. It kind of coincides with the ledger as to why the credit was done and then these issues were resolved. That's my assumption. I haven't discussed it with them.
Okay, so we're assuming this has something to do with based on this letter, you're saying that you believe this has something to do with
There's a credit given in March, so it brought it back down to 0, pretty much. Gave her credit for rent, and then they were getting all these issues resolved.
right, with them, okay.
That's where the credit coincides, because they're getting the issues resolved. This letter says it's done on March.
Okay, for March, because of the March 19th letter, and then so the 21st, couple of days later, got it, okay. So you said she would testify that would
Right.
correlate to that. Was
Right.
there any other times where she was credited?
Yes. Excuse me if I may speak, I'm sorry.
You may, I'm looking on this particular ledger, I don't see where you were credited any.
Oh,
other
yeah,
time.
if you just asked them to submit, they did not bring that today, but they have credited me several times over these past few years where they have not been able to meet the timely manner, have these on time manner. Even this letter he's submitting, this was not a full repair, this was like a repair. And again, she did not say that, she stated she didn't know what's going on. And that's why she wanted a clean slate. This was just proof of this is exactly the one that came here. Somebody sent it. This Parker Arms is the one that came out. He's the one that told me that the water was running out into my bedroom, and that was the problem.
You said this is the contract you're
Yeah,
talking
now
about?
that this name sounds familiar. Yeah, Parker Arms. Yeah, yeah. been
And
working
so
with
your
them.
position is that he would testify if called, that the water was running from the bathroom into your bedroom causing mold?
Yes, he told me that. Yeah,
That's what you believe would happen?
yes. Whatever you don't want to speak.
Okay, I see here in exhibit 3, it looks like there are work orders. Mr. Fu, your client's position is that there was never any work or orders during this time frame from 2024, I would say, until current, since that's how far we're going back on the ledger. Or mold,
Correct, yeah. There's no work orders for mold.
and there was no work order for the shower.
The shower and everything was brought to the attention of August 18th. This was about the time that the lawsuit was filed, 2025. And they, since August 18th, my client testified to it, and I'm pretty sure, I think I spoke with Mr. Simon about it too. They were trying to get access because it's a 2-week period to do all the repairs. So they had to get place for the defendant to reside where they.
I'm just asking for the work order that was presented from her prior to any of these, because I don't see anywhere she said, hey, I got mold in my unit, or hey, can someone come fix my shower?
There, I don't have a work order with mold in it.
I'm clear that there was some work done in February of 2026. I think you advised the court in January that you wanted an adjournment for that purpose. Okay, and her rent is how much?
Her rent is $258 a month,
258 is her portion,
her portion, correct?
and the allegations is that she has not paid rent since when?
The last payment was April 7th, 2025, and she had a balance of $69 due. And in April 2025.
April 2025?
Yes.
Okay. And you received Section 8?
It is a Lansing housing voucher.
Okay, so they pay a portion of your rent?
Yes, it is.
Okay, have they withheld any rent for this purpose?
No, that's what, no, I've not been notified of that.
Did they withhold, have the voucher withhold that yet?
The voucher is on the house, it's not in her. So no, we didn't. They can adjust it.
So no rent.
That, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that,
No, this is charged.
you said it was what?
The charges are on here.
Wait.
258 starting.
Judge is asking, did you receive full payment during this time for the voucher?
Yes.
Yes, nothing's been withheld.
That was my concern, is because there's inspections that are done. So if they come in and then they say, hey, no, there's mold that needs to be replaced, they withhold the rent.
Yes.
If they come in and they say, I was raised on Section 8, I get it. You come in and they say something is broken that is essential, they write it up, it has to be repaired, and they won't pay the rent until that. But I don't see where Section 8 or whoever provides your certificate did not pay any rent during these timeframes because of conditions of the property. So that doesn't fare well on your argument.
Doesn't fare well that they did not come out and inspect properly.
You're saying that they didn't come and inspect for 2 years?
Inspect, no, they've been.
There was no inspection for 2 years.
I can't say for 2 years, but I would say that they have not did inspections as they should. I'm sure
Oh,
they've
so
been
you
behind.
believe that the quality of their inspection?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Just like the inspection that was done when I told you they came out to do the insulation. That was part of this inspection, and it was not completed. You know, they actually accidentally stepped in the ceiling. They didn't repair it. It's actually
Yeah,
didn't, you know.
I agree that I'm gonna be frank, and I could easily withhold this over until another court date. I don't think it's meaningful. Just to make someone come and testify to say that they believe that's what happened. The issue that I have is I see your vent, and I think that was in the bedroom in the picture. It does appear from my vantage point to emulate black mold, but I don't know because I wasn't tested. I don't know how long that was there. My biggest concern, I think, as it relates to your conditions of property is the condition of the ceiling and the time frame that it took to have that repaired. That seems unreasonable. Do I believe that that condition caused you to not be able to use the restroom? I don't believe that. Do I believe that the condition was a constructive eviction for you? I don't believe that either. I do think that it could have created some risks because it's obviously unsafe to have it that way. And thankfully, there was no situation where you or your children were affected physically by it caving in or whatever took place, because it sounds like why they moved you out to get it fixed.
Finally, when it extended to the living room, correct?
Okay. It sounds like, so I think that was unreasonable. I do believe that warrants an abatement, but I don't believe it warrants a full abatement of your rent because the ceiling and the bathroom needed to be replaced.
It caused me a lot of stress and anxiety, if I may speak.
Absolutely.
Caused me a lot of stress, anxiety, my children as well. It just wasn't, these weren't handled professionally, they were understaffed, just like how they were finally able to accommodate me when they did. Again, I don't think they purposely did that. They're just
I'm not saying I think that they
they're
purposely did
understaffed
it.
and they dropped the ball. And there are a lot of people, unfortunately, that experience the same kind of neglect and abuse as me. They sold the properties for a reason, and you know, I'm not gonna insinuate without that proof, but you know, they couldn't manage them all, you know, with the maintenance and staffing they have. Like you said, you read through Section 8, you know how things go. I feel like we'd be meeting a fair ground if they just waived that rent. There's been times I paid, there's been times that they waived it that they're showing today, but if you were requested to go back, there's been other times they waived it as well. And they
I don't
tried
really
to-
feel like I need to go back any further than this, because even the allegations that you made don't extend further than this time frame. And then you've also paid rent since this time frame.
Right, trying to meet
So-
a median.
Right, so I don't, but if you want to rely on the fact, or that you're making argument that the condition of the property caused you great stress and anxiety, then there was something you have to legally do before it triggers a duty. I don't have any evidence that you made any work orders indicating your growing concern about these conditions. You never came to the court and filed anything, nor did you put any rent in escrow. And so, do I believe that it bothered you that that was the case? I absolutely believe that it bothered you, that your ceiling was in that condition. And it's possible that there was some mold in that area where the vent was, that based off the picture, but I don't know because no one ever got that tested. And I don't see even a work order where you say, hey, I think there's mold. I need it tested and treated. I don't see a work order for mold at all.
Excuse me, and I didn't present that, I wasn't making an excuse about my father. I'm just telling you, I was just explaining to you, and forgive me for even making it seem that way. I was just being honest and saying that I'm not totally functioning as my normal self.
I believe that. I can totally get it.
So, because normally I would have my evidence for you. I would have had the invoices, me not coming to court.
Invoices for what?
Invoices for what they did, or maybe you call them invoices when they did waive it. You know, I'm sure I have paperwork at home to show other times when they did waive it. I know I have work orders. I have sent emails. There's a paper trail. But again, I'm just not functioning totally properly. I'm under a lot of stress, which is why I never came to court. Man, I experience barriers every day, and I'm still learning. And that's just the reality of my situation. So I tried to be understanding with SNK. They've worked with me when they were Lansing Housing. I tried to work with them. I feel like it would just be fair to start over. They finally fixed my unit. I am happy with the unit. I'm even willing to pay the rent, you know, from the time that things have been repaired, because now it is safe. You know, there's no mold that I know of. They've made the necessary repairs, you know, even to the outlets that we didn't want to bring up.
What you're not understanding is you provided no evidence to support that there was mold and or that you, due to what you're showing me was in this vent, that you suffered some harm because of that. So that doesn't make it fair to say that you could live here and not have to pay any rent for almost 2 years. That doesn't make that fair. If you wanted it to be fair, you have to show evidence, ma'am. And you've not done that. You've not showed me any evidence where you even notified them that you believe that there was mold in the unit.
Excuse me, they showed some of the invoices and they didn't show all of them.
You're talking
I'm
about
sorry,
where they
requests,
abated
I'm
the
sorry,
rent.
Maintenance requests. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
showed some were done.
Right, and I asked specifically, are there any requests that, you know, she says, hey, I got some issues with mold. You've not provided, you could have provided your own invoices as well.
And that's why.
Or your requests for service, because I'm sure you have access to that as well, correct?
Yeah, yes. I mean,
Yeah,
well, some of it, except for a lot of it, excuse me, I do. just
Their
follow it.
testimony is they don't have it. And your testimony is these are all of the requests that you got during this time period. I have no reason to believe that Ms. Carla Ringo is withholding some of the requests that during this time frame. I have no reason to believe that they didn't turn over all of them.
So excuse me, no disrespect, again, she's been most helpful to me. I'm sure they brought her on board for that reason. But she's not aware of everything, every request I made. Some of it done on the phone. There's various people that I've talked to, and she stated that she only can go by what she knows. And there are things that she didn't know. There are things that, you know, again, there are places I fell short in, they fell short in. I have no reason to, I know you need evidence. Bottom line,
Right,
you need evidence.
that's how we work
Bottom
in
line.
court. We
Yeah,
need
bottom
evidence.
line.
In addition to that, she came in, from the time she came in, she said she wanted to wipe it clear, which is why she gave this credit. So that also goes to their credit. They're showing me the ledger from when she came in. I don't know what happened before I got there. There was a dispute, so I wiped it clean. So I would only really need to move forward from that point because she's the witness they have anyways. And so if you can show me that since she's been here, since she wiped it clean, you made some requests for some issues in your property to be fixed and then they didn't do it, that's one thing. But that's not what you're showing me. I saw the pictures of your ceiling, which I believe were concerning. I saw the concern about whatever was going on in the event. There was testimony though, however, from the person who came and repaired that he didn't believe that to be mold, or that there was no mold in the bedroom. That was his testimony. You don't have any evidence to support otherwise. And I can't see, it could have potentially looked like mold to you, or it could have been mildew is what he's referring some of this stuff to be. But he specifically, when you asked, because he only mentioned mold on the direct, he said mold/mildew, which is why Mr. Klug went to object. And I'd say, no, he said mold. I know he did, I wrote it down. And so, but when you asked him specifically about the bedroom, he said, no, there was no mold in the bedroom. So you have to tip the scale in order to show me, no, well, that there was mold, and here's the pictures, here's where I requested for them to test for the mold, they never did it. And then finally, Mr. Zaney comes in February 2026 and repairs all of this stuff. That's different. So the only thing that I know unequivocally that was an unreasonable delay in repair is your ceiling in your bathroom, which sounds like that issue is when it extended to the other room. And then they came in to replace that damage. My understanding is that they did not charge you rent during that time frame. And I think that was a nice gesture under the circumstances while they were doing that. But I do think that the fact that you've been having this concern lingering in your unit for so long does deserve some abatement again, but I don't believe it deserves an abatement of the full amount of rent. So I'm ready to make my ruling. There's a past due rent of $3,053 plus court costs, you said?
Judge.
Of what were the court costs?
177.04.
177.04?
0.04, yes.
0.04. I'm going to abate her $1,053 for the issues with the ceiling not being repaired. She testified it was for a couple of years and then it extended to another issue before it was ever addressed. And so that brings her past due rent owed in the amount of $2,000 plus court costs in favor of the plaintiff. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Judge.
You're all set. You have paperwork?
I can cross out the numbers for you.
I can do it in my purple pen. They know I did it.
Your handwriting is better than mine anyway. You can cross out the phone. I don't know. I didn't put the phone on there. Sorry, Judge. So if you could cross out.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You absolutely can.
Can I ask for some time? Can I ask for payment plan?
I'm sure that you can talk to them about the payment plan to see
Okay,
how
I
you
didn't know
can.
who those were.
Yeah, we can talk to them about doing that payment plan so that you can, there's money in escrow, is that correct?
Right.
Do we know how much is in escrow?
No, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Is it at the court?
Yes, we remember.
I think these are your exhibits, counsel.
Yes.
Unless you need those.
I definitely do not need them.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's 258.
Thank you, Mr. Simon.
Okay, there's 258 in escrow that will be turned over to the plaintiff. So if you want to discuss a payment plan or that they will work with you to help you or give you time to bring you current, you can do that in private.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. And so you said that money will come back to me and then I can give it to them?
No, it's gonna go directly to them.
Okay, great.
Counsel, what matter do you have? Oh, that, I just realized I was Miss Silberry. Okay. I know which matter you are here on. Ma'am, were you waiting for something?
Oh, me? No, I'm sorry, I'm a secretary of legal services, I'm just watching.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Let's see. Did you all resolve your matter? Or you need more time? You need a new date? I have to do it. I gotta do arraignments today. This is Camayo Properties versus Ijan Dewale and Emergency Response 26-00373. Appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Roger Smith appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Billy O'Berry on behalf of Emergency Response Solutions and Eljon DeWalt.
Very good. Okay, today was the date scheduled for a hearing. This is for non-payment of rent, and you've always been at it for a couple of hours trying to figure out a resolve, but that's not taking place, is my understanding.
Well, we're much closer, but it's the details that we're trying to work out. What happened, Your Honor, was there was a FOIA request the last time we were here, and we got a lot of documents, and this became more complex than what was anticipated. So it looked like we were going to have a trial, but now we are trying to work out some kind of compromise. I have a client who has some severe illness issues. He is concerned if he commits to something and what happens if he has another stroke. Well, I said that's something we can't plan for. So we're just well, I think we've come up with a total figure, but it's just working out the payment arrangements. Is that, am I saying that
I would say
right?
that's accurate. But again, not seeing a resolution on the horizon.
Well, it sounds like you have a resolution. It's just that your client doesn't want to commit because something could happen in the future with his health.
Right, he doesn't know what kind of payments to set up because he's starting a new business in a different location because he couldn't continue in that location. He's supposed to be meeting with the state this next week, and then that will give him a better idea about how much money he'll have available. So it's the amount, it's not the total amount, it's the payment.
The amount of the payment plan.
Correct.
Okay,
So I
that's a
don't know.
concern. Is there a particular amount your client was looking for?
Also, Your Honor, we believe that this tenant owes approximately $38,000 in rent and costs. We've come down to $10,000, trying to come up with some sort of reasonable payment plan for him to make that $10,000 payment. We recently just came up with, 5,000 in 3 months, 5,000 again in 6 months as being a maybe.
Okay,
But
and
again,
he's got to meet with these people before he's willing to commit to that payment plan.
That's right, because it's the state and the kind of schooling he is going to be operating. They have to approve it because it's now moved to a different location. So he can't just start operating. He has to wait till they approve it, but he's meeting with them. My understanding is next week.
Okay, well, this has to be reset anyways because it's 12 o'clock. I have to do arraignments today. And so I don't have the time to do a hearing anyways, but it sounds like you all really could resolve it if you have this meeting is what it sounds like. So let me just get you the next available date.
Your Honor, would the court be amenable to an escrow request?
Absolutely.
We would like to make that rent abatement
Is there escrow paperwork over there? Yeah, usually people just submit the request for extra.
Do that online if you'd like. I'll go back to my office. Okay, I will do that. I discussed it with council just briefly, but
April 22nd at 9. Does that work for you both? April 22nd at 9.
Is there any way to do it later that day?
Do April 29th at 9.
That would be better.
That works for you? April 29th at 9. Okay. This is a mile properties. Oh, there it goes. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Pretty fluid. We're just gonna be asking for more different.
What is this? Somebody has another warrant that was sent over. Please let me know if you will. Is that the one I just gave you? Yeah, it was. I'm assuming you took that to them already. It was the swear to that I signed. The clerk's office was asking for it. Did you take it over there?
Yeah, I took,
Oh,
what you
okay.
gave me, I took over.
Yeah, but okay, got it. Judge Ward had already sent it to me. Let me see. I think I started it. Well,